So my topic for today is ways to strengthen your website immune system through SEO. So I purposely like change the title like become immune system, like vaccination, to make it more relevant to now. So like you need to like like practice healthy habits for your website. So a little bit, just a very short introduction. I know it's everyone already delayed a little bit. So my name is Martin. I'm an assistant digital marketing manager of under Exabyte Digital. So Exabyte Digital is under the marketing agency under the Exabyte division. So my focus field is all about SEO. Of course, in the beginning, everything also I try. So I have experience 6 years with Exabyte, and then I manage over like 50 plus SEO clients, including internal and external the new client. So I love creating video, taking photo, records. Okay, let's back to the topic. So my agenda for today, because of the time constraint, I limited to 5 points. First, I will talk about Google Search Console. Second is why Google search drop. Like just now, the speaker before already mentioned why certain thing is a little bit about touching about SEO. Third is news and update, and then I talk about healthy habits, like immune system. And then the fifth is the classic, the content. So let's start with the first one, Google Search Console. So the first thing is, if you're talking about SEO, so I mentioned about this is the SEO for Google. So if you're using the China one, that one is Baidu, or Russia is Yandex, that one is another story. So I'm talking about Google only. So you must verify your Google Search Console. So in simple terms, it's like Google Search Console, you can see from here, is help you make sure your site traffic and performance. Fix issue later will show what are some of the issue. Make your site shine in Google Search result. So I know this marketing fest this time have a lot of like international. For all the Malaysian, just an example. So Google Search Console is like your My Sejahtera app. So it will give you the ask you to what is my profile, right? So they give you all the information like from Google. It's directly, it's free. Okay. So it's once you log into Google Search Console, the first thing you'll see these two. So my advice, if you want fast, you can go for this route. URL prefix is quite immediately if you know what you do. It's a little bit technical, but you can look for the documentation online. Then the next thing is, okay, let's look about the interface. I explain a little bit as far as possible. So you can see here, this is the performance. After you verify your website, you can see this performance. Then you can see these clicks, this impression, average CTR, and average position. So the thing I love about the Search Console is you can see the trend. So this is very easy to understand. What is the total click, the blue color, or the purple, the impression. So this gives you what's the current performance, the status of your website. So it's very important. And then this is for the Google Organic, direct organic. So just now I mentioned, I see some of the question asking like what's the tools, especially for the search volume. So stay tuned, I will give you one free tool. I always recommend for free tool, not freemium. Okay. So this is also another free tool. You can use this to analyze your own keywords performance. Okay. Next is about the coverage. So if you look at this coverage, they will give you like these errors and then valid with warning, valid and then excluded. So I treat this is like the formulations like My Sejahtera app is like this is nothing red is good. So you're not the contact rapat, like the vaccination, that kind of things. So make it everything is red. So make it everything is green. So the red part is, you see this, you must solve. So Google already give you signal, hey, something wrong with your website. Please solve it now. Okay, so make sure everything is red. So next is talking about the mobile usability. So for information, it's a few years ago, Google already keep mention and repeat again, mobile friendly. Because most of the time, if you check your Google Analytics or your own CMS system, your system, most of us is like your traffic primary is from your mobile. So your mobile need to have complete, you need to check no issue. The common issue I see from this mobile issue, they will mention about your text is too small or too big, too squeezed. Usually I know your website is already responsive, but because the quite slow the loading. If you check, this is very technical. When you check, actually they show is the screenshot they show is they're still showing the incomplete, the crawling. So make sure your website you need to check this one is totally zero errors. Then next one is these products. Okay, this product is what we call is the structured data. So in the layman term, sometimes you type something, right? In the Google search, right? You see the star, the reviews, right? Below, above the meta description, the black color, below the blue light. So this one is called under the product structured data. They'll fall under this tab, the sidebar enhancement. So for common errors I can see is, or warning is, if you're using WooCommerce, depends on your themes, WordPress, and the plugins, sometimes you'll form many warnings because the product description or either the plugin, the incomplete information about your website is here. My personal advice is, if possible, keep it everything is valid, become green is good, so you can show everything. Okay, so this is one example. So this one is why certain website you can see the product logo or FAQ, breadcrumb. This one is depends on your website. So if your website have this kind of schema or structured data, it will reflect on here. Okay, next one is, so this is the quick summary about Google Search Console. Once you verify Search Console, make sure you regularly monitor, fix all the errors, and then hopefully no security issue or malfunction. This one is related to your kena penalty. So you're having penalty like Google punish you, and monitor the performance data. So the performance data refer is the organic performance. So let me have a quick question slide survey. Do you already verify your website to Google Search Console? Can you chat, comment, or reply in the chat box? Can you reply yes or no? So I know all the crowd 300 yes. So I see 1, 2, 3 yes. I know Mervin say yes. Okay, yes, Ethan yes, no. 1 no, yes, no. So we have mixture of that, not yet, still learning. Okay, good. No. Okay, good. Thanks for that. Thanks for your participation. Okay, good. So next time, this is very interesting. Okay, analyze Google search drop. Okay, recently it's all the time. As a marketer, the boss say, hey, why my website suddenly Google traffic is dropping? Why this is dropping? What is the reason? Can you submit the report to me? And then I want to know the solution. Thankfully, if you see this, if you usually verify this is just using the Google Search Console. If you're using Google Analytics, also the similar thing. Sometimes you'll see why the trend suddenly drop. This is very obvious. So this is the impression. So for those who don't understand impression is what people see. So it's what Google search result appear one time, consider one impression, not clicks, suddenly drop. So this one definitely something wrong with Google search traffic drop. Actually, to be exact, it's search impression drop lah. So the default is 3 months. So do you face this before in your Google Search Console for those who already verified your website? Yes. Okay, good. I say Liho say yes. Then trick yes. Okay. Now, okay. So the answer is here. Actually, in the July 20th this year, if you analyze Google search traffic drops, you all can searching this article now. It's fall under the Google Search Central. So for the Google Search Central, actually is the official blog post, the announcement for the Google everything the search. So they actually finally they give some clue what is the reason suddenly your Google search drop. Okay, let's look at the reason. Okay, this is very interesting. So according to the website from the Google, it's they give you the 4 main causes for drop in search traffic. So the first one is technical issue. You can see this is called site level and manual action. So this one is considered the very serious one. Site level mean the whole domain, the whole website you punish, so the everything you drop in terms of impression, and definitely, and then it will lead to the lower clicks. Okay, the second is seasonality. Seasonality is very easy to explain. The festival season, Hari Raya, Chinese New Year, or 11/11. So you will get spike, and then suddenly you'll go down. Okay, so you need to understand the trend. And then this one, the third one is technical issue. Page level. Page level means it's only affected certain pages or certain limited pages. So algorithmic changes, the disruption. So sometimes you will fall. Okay, the fourth one is, I will say, is really unlucky. So the reporting glitch, in short, is the bug. So they finally give you some clue about how to analyze the trend. Okay, in short, the short answer is 5 main causes of drop in search traffic is, first one is technical issue. I give you an example. I have many experience is like client, they're asking why even I type exactly my domain name, the same spelling www.example.com still didn't appear, because if you're using WordPress, they didn't take this coverage, so the whole website is indexed. So no index in layman term is you close your gate to the Google when they want to visit your website, they want to crawl, you say no. So that's why actually this happen a lot, like especially the freelancer, they just okay, you give me an X amount of me, I deliver a website, they forget to untick that one. So your whole traffic is like zero or very limited, or few pages is like you forget to like unclick the no index or no index, no follow. Those security issue, the example is malware. So this is very typical. So if your website infected with malware, Google will like totally like block your website appear in Google search, or you click then you see the red color, like. So this is security. Third one is manual action. Manual action is penalty. So you do some sketchy thing. The typical example is like, okay, let's say you buy like US 100 link from India, then promise 1000 links, something not really recommend to do. And then the algorithmic changes. Later I will show you how can get the latest algorithmic changes. And then the search interest destruction. So this one, search interest destruction is like, I can relate to like the seasonality. Sometimes, for example, like in Malaysia, before COVID, is like, the boba tea trend is very spike high. Or another best example, you still remember the fidget spinner, right? The spin one. During that time, it's like spike very high, and then people always like dropshipping, selling this, Shopee, Lazada, and then now no more. Okay. So to continue is to investigation about this is, once you verify, actually many people like didn't fully utilize this. So you can see here, you can actually change the date to including the maximum is 60 months. Last time is 90 days only if you the old school people. Then compare the drop to a similar period. So this is the very traditional method. So you compare 3 months to 3 months, 1 month to 1 month, or whatever specific period you want. Analyze different search type. So sometimes it's actually the default is web. You can search, like you can change into the image or web or YouTube. I would say it's like you make sure utilize you can include the full 60 months, and then you can see the trend, which trend. Then reverse engineering. Okay, then you can like drill down what's this day or in the between or after, like the few weeks or 1 week. What do you do to your website? Is it you revamp? Is it you change something, or do you do link building incorrectly? Okay. So make use of this search console. Is like in Malaysia, it's like your MySejarah apps, like you can view everything. So the third one is like I just now mentioned about the algorithm changes the news site. Get the news, real news update, not fake news about the Google. What do I mean? So if you have Twitter account, please follow this one. First is called Google Search Central and Google Search License. So these two is the official. You can see the blue tick. So from the Twitter, why I recommend Twitter is like because the US market, they are more familiar with they are more active on the Twitter. So they every time they have the big, I would say not instant, maybe after a few days or few weeks, the big algorithm changes. So they will announce in here. So here is how you get the latest update from Google. They say, hey, we already finished the core update, the worldwide or certain region. So if they announce here, you usually after a few days you'll see something changes about your ranking. Okay, depends. If you're unlucky, then you drop. If you're lucky, sometimes you spike, or nothing else, just remain the same. Okay. The second is you can just follow Google Search Central blog. So this is the official blog from the Search Central or the webmaster, for really the Google search one. So they actually they're not very active, but at least they give you some clue about what is the current or the future, or in future what is the trend, the direction. So read this. Okay, for normal human being, I know it's very technical, but if you're really lazy, you don't understand about the terms very technical, at least you glance through the big topic, so you know what is currently in the Google, what they're trying now. Okay. Then next one is, this is the reputable SEO publisher like Search Engine Journal, Engine Roundtable, Engine Lane, Search Watch. So this is like more reputable like publisher. Why I recommend this is like, even the publisher actually know someone from Google. Yes, so they're already famous or influencer until that level. So I know what they say is, I cannot say correct, but at least it's reputable. So you can just follow this page. You can like RSS them, like, so you can get the latest. And then a bit of reminder, when you read news or info about SEO, in fact, it's not SEO, it's everything. It's like digital marketing. Please check the date. Second, please check the source. And then most important is, do not trust everything. So I make a very simple, like, short remark. Relevant for the period or niche, but might outdated by the time you read it. You know, every time the typical action is, why my traffic dropped, then you find. Then you read all the 10 articles on the first page. Correct, right? Then after that, oh, this publisher say this blog post say this, or this forum that guy say this. Then you do like, why still not relevant? Because it's outdated, or maybe you're doing the wrong solution for your website. So remember this, or always like check the date. Some actually they hide the date. Of course, you can view source and then you Ctrl F modify date. You can know the date. It's considered outdated. They just like, you know, like spin the content from others. So it's like, make sure you read the reputable. And then another like piece of advice, always read the official news first. Then you read the publisher news, all the digital marketing like sources you follow. Okay, so the fourth one is practice healthy habits. So to increase your immune system for your website. So I use this example again, like Google Search Central. Actually, for the beginner, I highly recommend this guide, like Search Central SEO Starter Guide. Yes, it's very funny. It's like Google give like the simple guide about SEO to everyone, like public orders. So you can just search this can read about this. This one is, I consider, not too technical, but at least they give you the overall, like the checklist or everything, what you need to cover. So after you finish this, then you can continue to this advanced user. This is considered more technical. Like you need to do such a little bit of technical stuff, so you need to understand this. Then after this, then you have an overall idea about SEO. What is the practice, the healthy habit? Okay, I sum it out into few because the time constraint. So the first one is website revamp and migration. So this is a little bit like advice. Okay, let's say, okay, I know my website already very old, not mobile responsive, you know, very ugly. So you pay someone to the agency, you know, the freelancer to do your website. Okay, fine. Then the question for you is, do you know if you didn't do any URL direction, the old URL like already appear in Google, when you do the website revamp, the new website, right? So people when click from Google, everything fall into 404 not found. Do you know that? Or do the agency ask you, they already do the redirection for you? So I see many websites like, okay, they appoint to the agency, but they didn't do the redirection, you know, from the old URL to the new URL, assuming you're using the different URL structures. So this one is definitely, of course, your traffic will drop, is everything. The impression still there, but the traffic is actually the point to redirect to 404 because you didn't do the redirection from the old URL on the new. So my advice is, this is the best practice is, every old URL you need to redirect because you no idea people already still using the old URL from whatever website, the third party website. So when people like click from the old website, so they will land on 404, which is not a good practice. So this apply to the second point, is the internal link as well. I know the traditional method is, okay lah, once you do the redirection, you use plugin, HTSS, whatever, then it's fine. But the best way is actually you really replace each old URL to the new URL. And then this one is very technical. If you totally change your domain, okay, this one is, I give you an example. Let's say you change the extension, this one also change the whole domain. Exabyte.com is not equal to exabyte.com.my. So if you change this, actually you need to use the tool. It's a free tools from Google Search Console. You need to update. So you need to tell Google, hey Google, I already redirect my website, this one domain to another domain or another extension. For Google is different. So the second is image optimization. Make sure you know what is the difference between PNG and JPEG. So I talk about the disadvantages. PNG usually is very large. So if you no need the transparent, usually the logo, right? Please use JPEG, or even better, the WebP. WebP is the new latest version format. smaller file, retain the same image. And then the latest WordPress version already support this finally. And then second is overly huge resolution of file size. For information, is like usually the common practice for the website, the width horizontal is we just resize or we change the resolution into 1920. It's the typical, the full HD width. I know our phone can capture like few thousand, like 4,000-5,000, right? Actually, no need, because the screen, even your mobile, is smaller than that. So you no need the huge resolution. And then if you use huge resolution, definitely the file size will be very big. So make sure you resize, export it out. I know for a web developer, webmaster is very troublesome, but this is the healthy habits. And then always compress image. Compress image is, let's say I can make the original 1 megabyte become 100 kilobyte. Smaller image, still same image. So this is the best practice. If you're using WordPress, there's a lot of even the free plugins to compress and resize the image. And then the third one is the mobile optimization. Is like many website pages, when they check the website, is wow, desktop is very perfect, but didn't check using the mobile view. Make sure it's fine, the UI UX. And then if something wrong about the mobile, you can see is just now already the first point, mobility issue. You can see the red color, something wrong with the mobile, so it will affect the mobile traffic as well. And then for those who are using WordPress website, this is my advice: the healthy habits to maintain your website. First is plugin, the less the better. Okay, you need to update, and then of course you backup before update, and then remove the activate plugin. So my advice is, I know many like user, including me, is hey, I want to try this free plugin. Like, is it can solve my this issue or not? And then I try, and then I install. I didn't deactivate. But sometimes actually is, if you tech savvy enough, actually it's just one script, one like sentence or line. Then you manually put in your theme, your function.php, your head.php. Then you'll solve. You don't need the plugins. So if you know this method, actually you install one plugin, it will make your website better and more better for security as well. And then the second is backup. Always backup a copy in your local drive, not virtual, not the cloud. So in your local drive, in your own computer, you can save into your pen drive. Always have the backup. Then schedule it. So if you're lazy, like every day or every weekly, like midnight. And then the third one is actually very funny. That's how to restore. Many users actually they backup, they don't know idea how to restore, or some glitch they didn't test first your new hosting. Or this is, by right, I would say is like every webmaster should know about this before you even try to create your website. So the third one is cache. In simple terms, is cache is something like they use something into your browser. So the next time people click the website, it will load faster. Okay, I know it's very layman term. Then for those who understand about cache, is the industry standard, the one of the best paid plugin for the WordPress is called WP Locket. So you need to understand about the setting and the configuration, the optimization. This is very huge topic and very technical. My advice is, don't enable editing equal to make your site better. Sometimes you will think about, oh, I click everything, then we will make site better. I have previous like the sharing session is like even like the one of the myth is like, oh, I install more SEO plugin, right? So my SEO website will better. No, one just enough. If you install more plugin like your SEO or in one SEO, then actually they will crush each other. So it's not like you give, like the vaccine, right? Or maybe now Malaysia government like maybe considering giving the third boost, the third vaccine. Like no, it's just one enough already. Then this is another big topic I'm not going to cover. It's actually is the core web vital is one of the another algorithm. Actually, it just announced last year, but finally implement in this July, so already fully implement. In short, core web vital is your page speed. So in your website needs to be faster. Then finally, the last one is talk about content, publish and improve content on your website. So when talk about content, is like people like think about just now, like I see some of the questions for just now asking about Google Ads is what about the keywords. So I will show some example. First thing is, if you are really clueless about content, like what should include, like actually you can use this like including in your Google Ads as well. You type Google, like the search bar, and then you look at the people also ask. So this is the content actually you should include, like content within your page, FAQ, or your blog post ideas. Why? Actually, if you search this from Google, their library, they already think people type about content marketing, people always like related to this kind of thing. So it helps you narrow down your theme, your scope. So this is a very good tool. I know people like just ignore, like people type search something, they just scroll and then they want to just click everything, the first page. Look at the question. So if you didn't try before, actually once you click here, actually you expand more. Then actually they have like even that tools to extract all of these. Later I will show is the free tools. So this is already like free keywords, or to those who understand, this is already a long tail keywords you can target to generate more content on your website. Second is the bottom. Okay, at the bottom actually we call it related searches. Bottom is like when you click the next page. Here is, I would say this is another like related keywords. So it can include like this is another idea, topic or titles, question. So in SEO world, it's like we say this is like this is your root keyword. The root keyword in Malaysia is called akar, so root keyword, and then you can all the branches is this related searches. So here actually, like just now the Shani mentioned about the keyword library. So this one you can build your keyword library about the company, the industry, the product services you need. So you can just manually copy. Actually has some tools, but if you're just starting out, you can try this traditional method. You can just copy and then like to your Excel, and then you continue like categorization, what's the search intent like that. Okay, so you all can like search now. The one of the tools I recommend is this Answer Socrates. You have answer, we have question. It's totally free, not freemium, totally free. So you can just type content marketing, then country you can search. Malaysia also fine, or you want the like international, Mexico, whatever is just fine, or you can type your own language, then you can search the language. This one is, I would say, depends on the region. Like Indonesia, they use really the Bahasa Indonesia, but in this demo process I use content marketing. And then after you type this, you type the search, it will show something like this. This is just one of the section. I didn't show everything, so you can actually, there are a lot more the section you can. So this is why the question is like, this is how fast you can understand like the keywords, like the target keywords like you want to target. Because like let's say I give you an example, I have like client like like the very industry, like the aluminium, the factory workers. For me it's like totally no idea like what is the words of this. Or another, give you an example, that's like sometimes the client like related to very medical stuff, they give you very long scientific name is totally don't understand. So I use this tool to like understand what is the topic, the root keywords, and then this is very fast way to understand what's the keywords, the theme, how to categorize, how to target the keywords. Okay, even this is the second one just now mentioned is about the keyword search volume, right? So you can use this. You all can like type now. It's called keyword surfer. For those who understand SEO like you used before, actually this one is, for me, it's a replacement for the keyword everywhere. So you can find new keyword. Actually, within your Google search result, it will show something like this. So after this, actually you can customize, like this is US, this is the currency. So this currency actually refers to CPC. In layman term is how much I need to pay this keyword average, like people click one content marketing, this is how much. Okay, so you can use these two. So for me, why I recommend this is I want fast. Sometimes we just want to have assumption like, I'll give you an example. Do you know like okay, for Exabytes, right, Linux VPS or VPS Linux, they have different search result, the search volume. So like just now I see some example I mentioned about what about the keyword, like same term. I use the classic example. In Malaysia we call smartphone, phone. In US sometimes we call in another term, smartphone, phone, mobile phone. Then you were asking yourself, like, do I need to target everything? So actually you can use this tool, like every region, every people, like they have different same name, same keyword, but have different search volume. So you can use this tool. It's like very fast. I can know. Okay, so you can change to your own region, and then so you can install now. It's free, and then the most powerful thing is here at the right side of the search result. So you can see here. So this one is the default. They will show you the search volume and the average CPC. It will show the search volume. So here is how you can find the related keyword, understand the intention. So do you need to like include this in your Google Ads or your Google search, in your SEO, you improve your content, your blog posts, or include this in become your sub pages for your product and services. So this is how you can generate the ideas. It's totally free, and then you don't need to log in. So just install, and then you just click the country, then that's it. Okay, so the last time actually is called Keyword Everywhere, but that code become paid. So I find another replacement like tools. So this is like the few guidance. First is you can use the keyword, the content is what we call is essential info. Like just now got the Charlie mentioned about like, what about everything is the same keyword? Let's say the like we running Google Ads, right? Everything the same, even the description is the same, your target keyword also same. So what about this? So now they will go look into your info, the keywords, essential info. Every industry will have their standard. Okay, what do I mean? For example, it's like if you're using like digital marketing, it's like my agency, we will expect to see some keywords or content. So every industry is different. You cannot use like, okay, I know the typical method, you know, like the primary school, or you need to insert the what lah, how, what product services, or an example is like, oh, you need to do your website needs to have like a about us, product and services, FAQ, you know, the certificate, and then that's it. So that one is the minimum. But every industry, like every services, even they have like certain kind of content you need to have, then you only call your website or your brand is related to their content. So user expect to search for the content. So this one is very across industry. You need to do the research. Or matter what I mean, this is part of the, if you understand CRO, conversion optimization is every content from top to bottom actually is a flow to convince you want to even continue. You choose to skip, or you choose to submit your lead. I want to try this too. So every line, I'm talking about the content, the text is important. Then the second is keywords. I already give you an example. Search volume. Okay, I need to emphasize. Just now got some people like asking about the high search volume, medium search volume. Okay, this is the myth. High search volume not equal to good keywords. Okay, I repeat again. Search volume, the number, is not equal to the higher the better. It's not the direct correlation. I give you an example. It's like sometimes if you target high search volume, definitely you know it's highly competitive, the high demand, so it's very hard. But sometimes you target low search volume, also very high competitive, because the search volume, although it's low volume, but already occupied by very big authoritative websites. Okay, you get my meaning, right? So don't always like just blindly follow follow the search volume. Everything depends on the numbers only. No, you need to understand the difficulty, the website, the real search volume, the search result for the website. So later I will show this example. Then this one is keyword phrase check, and then the third point is content is types. I would say is now the trend is people like, I will highly advise your website should have the evergreen content, meaning the content it will not expire. For example, if you type now what is the SEO free Google tools for website, you will find the Google Exabytes, the digital website which is published by me. It did rank for very well first page for almost like 4 or 5 years, because it will not expire. So this kind of content is good, so it will like stay your website forever. If you rank enough, you rank good enough, you will rank first page forever. Not forever, long enough. And then the second trend is the structured data or feature snippet. Sometimes we call the rank 0. For example, especially using mobile phones to search, right? You can see once you type the keywords, it will appear the little box, and then sometimes you will like toy form, or sometimes you will like image, right? That that thing we call is feature snippet. So now people, the SEO word is like, we want to have that thing. Why? Because it's literally below the search result. So even better than first page, first rank. Okay, so this is the trend. And then I always advise is like, go for the questions. In the end, people still use Google to find something. So if you'll figure it out, like become like questions in your content, it will be very good to help your business. I think at least this is a good starting point. Okay. Like just now I mentioned about you can use the site and then 2 dot, and then let's say you follow by exabyte.digital. This one is actually you can type any domain you want, then you follow by the keywords, so you can check existing result. Okay, this function is, the layman term is, hey Google, I want to check Exabyte.digital, this website. When I search content marketing, what are the search results? Okay, so you can use the similar method to computer research. So let's say I want to target the content marketing for another competitor, let's say the Neil Patel or Moose. I can like reverse engineering. I want to know like the neilpatel.com website content marketing, what website already rank on the first page or first rank or anything that below it on the website. So this is like the reverse engineering. I know actually have many paid tools can use this, but this is actually, I would say it's like very fast, easy like tips. You can do it anytime, even with your phone. And then the third one is like, this is just very small tips. May start with a long tail or low search volume keyword first. Search keyword first and then anything. Okay. And then, so if your website, this is a very common, like example. You use this site and then you type your domain, and then let's say I want to target about florists. Okay. But your website, to Google library, you don't have anything. Then back to the question, how Google will rank? Because your website don't have anything related to florists. Okay, I need to mention about this. You type this, even though you update, let's say I publish something about florists about website to Exabyte.digital now, it's not necessarily Google will so fast to crawl and then insert into the library bank, the database, then you appear. It will take times. So the time is vary. Sometimes it's within hours if you're lucky enough. Sometimes it's weeks, so you will stay forever, like did not find any document, although you already have new website. So you can use this to check, is it the website already have florists that have this content. It's totally free. You don't need to use any tools. And then this is the last slide. Okay, you even can check about here, like you can back to, let's say for those who already verified Search Console, you can type this query, you add this filter query, then you can type any keywords you want. So these two allow you to content marketing. This keyword already appear how many times, how many people clicks, how many impression, what's the average position about it. So this is another way to like evaluate. I would say this is like the part of the auditing process to your website. So you should know, like, is it I need to target content marketing here? Okay, I see some of the questions asking quite technical about in the chat room. I'll try to example to questions. So thank you. So you all can follow me, ask me a question, ask question on the LinkedIn. So let's come to the Q&A section now.
Yeah, we got quite a few. But first, Martin, I want you to take a deep breath. You've been talking nonstop for like the last 40 to 50 minutes. Take a deep breath and just relax.
Time to drink water.
Yeah, drink lots of water. To everyone who's watching right now, go ahead, take a sip. Make sure you stay hydrated. It's like the only thing to do nowadays, right? Especially if you're working at home, don't forget to get up and stretch, move about a little bit, walk around, So yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of questions here. Let's go. This one's from Elaine. Elaine's question is, what if I want to do a year-on-year comparison? Do I still use the 16-month comparison?
Okay, I answer as fast as possible. For the Google Search Console, is the maximum is only has 16 months. So definitely you cannot like compare 16 months versus 16 months. So the maximum is like 8 months versus 8 months. Next.
Okay. Martin, you can relax. We have about 10 to 15 minutes to do this. Okay. It's okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, so this next one is from Karen. Karen's question is, How does Google crawl algorithm work when it comes to ranking the website or Google advertisements? Could you provide tips on SEOs on website?
Okay, go read all the example of your Google, not the link. Okay, I give you as an example lah. Just now I'm using the site, right? You can just use the site type your domain name, then you can type the keywords. Is it appear or not? So this is a very fast way to check your website already appear on that keywords. The rest is actually okay. The typical answer from Google they will say is, oh, actually the ranking factor has 200 factors, blah 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 blah. Then you can search all the like Google the result that will give you these tips 100 tips you need to follow. My advice is please read the official Google Search Central blog post first before you read, because you learn about the other publisher site.
All right, super cool. This next one is from Jen Wern. The question is, my Google Search Console reports errors such as clickable elements too close together or content wider than screen, but they come and go without me doing anything. Do you have any idea why, and how can I pinpoint the issues and fix it?
Okay, this is very technical. I think you understand is the Jen Wern, right? If you click the URL, for those who understand, actually you can use the inspect URL or the above bar to search central. After the search central, actually you can on the right sidebar you can click the screenshot HTML, so you can know actually when during the time when Google crawl your website already fully loaded or still like the halfway partially. If you see partially, this means your website or the hosting or the server side is one of the reason is slow.
Okay, cool. So let's do this next one. The next question is, I do have a website that has been given to me by my company. Do I need my own website, or do I just hang on to the company website? Because company websites are used widely by the staff to get leads and sales.
Do I need to do my own website or just... Okay, I give you some example. It's like very easy. I assume it's like you already a company website is your brand name, right? Your company name, or you want to do another new website. Is totally. My advice is, if your company website already generate like enough traffic, enough like organically like no lead, remain there. Because for me is you want to start from zero is very harder rather than I optimize or enhance and assisting your company website.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the question, Mandip. This next one is from Sue Ng. Sue's question is, how do you transfer the website search ranking of your initial website when you revamp your website or change your new domain?
Okay, for those to understand about the gray side or another side of SEO, so this is, you can search anywhere because I'm not working from Google, so I can say the one of the gray area is like last time people say is like I buy another domain expired already, so I redirect all the expired domain to my domain. So like just now the question like Suong say, like, it will give a boost. Okay, people still doing that right now. This is not the official way, so it's gray side. I'm not from Google, so people, you can use your own risk. This is another like gray hat, black hat. Okay, not the official way, it's the backdoor way. How do you transfer the website? Just now I already mentioned, in your Google search console, you have one tools like under the left sidebar, they have one setting. You can verify, you can type the domain and then tell Google to verify. You need to verify both old and new website first before you can do that. Then the next question you ask is it my traffic will be the same? This is a very good question mark. Our own Exabyte is sometimes we very lucky we remain the same. Certain website usually it will drop first the traffic. After that Google, oh, your website already new one, then you will come back already. So that's why I say by migration or you change domain is I'll consider very big risk.
Okay, that's something that they have to obviously take into consideration. But thank you for your advice. So this next one is from Azhar. It's a two-part question. So Azhar's question is, low search volume, but it's expensive. Normally I will compare, this went up there. Okay, normally I will compare the pricing because I have a certain budget limit. Please advise. Is it because, sometimes the volume versus pay per click is quite tricky. What do you think?
Okay, this one is a little bit Google Ads one. Search engine, I will compare the pricing because there's certain budget limit. I reverse engineering is my advice is back to the question, your objective. Is it the pricing justified? Like if you reverse engineering for property, right? Why they can run the ads so ganas? They can just throw money few thousand because one lead, let's say equal one lead and one close sales, they can generate few thousand, already cover their cost. So my advice is if the expensive keywords can bring you sales, you confident enough, and then to your estimation is totally valid, you can try.
All right, that's great. This next one's from Melvin. Melvin's question is, how do we create structured data or featured snippets?
Okay, structured data. Okay, structured data actually you can type Google structured data. The website is called the developer.google structured data. They give you I think it's 20 or 30 kind of list or structured data you can implement. So the easy way if you're using WordPress is, WordPress very easy, right? You can just type plugin you want to have this and then instantly you have it. Okay. The thing is, okay, once you implement this in my experience is, although you implement, you test, okay, Google say using the tool called Rich Result Tools is the tools to validate your structured data is appear valid or green color or not, pass or not. But Google have the, Google they have the ultimate right to show or not. Okay, feature snippet is, my short answer is, if your page still didn't rank on the first page, mostly you don't have the feature snippet.
All right. So I think we're going to jump to the chat for a bit because I see that there are two questions here. Once again, guys, if you can, please put them in the Q&A so we don't have to keep track of that manually, but let's go here. All right. So this one is from James. James's question is, if we have a web page with SEO, which will automatically redirect to another web application once users click on it, does it violate the SEO and is not effective for Google ranking?
Another web application once user click violate. Okay. The official answer is, if you're using the Google search console, if you didn't see the manual action, then it's not valid. But I still not really understand why you need to redirect to.
Oh, so James
I assume it's like
bottom,
you.
yeah.
Oh,
James
for example, web page
yeah.
is when the user type blah blah. Oh, okay. Oh, this one another issue. I can personally PM with you. Next question first.
Okay, sure. Let's do the one above that. For beginners in SEO, what are the best blog articles to read to understand everything about keywords?
Okay. I repeat again. You read from the official Google Search Central first, and then you can read the very good. I would say the Brian Dean, the botak guy, the green color one, very good. Because they keep update. So I repeat again the advice. Please check the date. Do they mention the updated 2021 or the purpose still to 2020? Please don't read that. Read the latest update. And then if they give you the latest update with latest screenshot, then you follow, bookmark it.
I think the audience are quite tickled by the way you answered that question, which is great, you guys. When you have a good time here.
Brian, yeah, the no Asa the chat.
Okay,
he has the YouTube channel as well.
Okay, let's go to the next one here. Okay, back to the Q&A. This one is from Sue as well. What is the main difference between Google Search Console and Google Analytics?
Okay, Search Console is, I would say, is they more focus about the website, so they give you insight about everything about your website. Just now I already demo, so they give you about only graph organic. Search Analytics is they give you insight or the traffic information about everything. So in other words, is actually analytic, like it's a subset or another way around of the search console. My advice is please install and verify an installation for both, for every website.
All right, good advice. This next one is from Raymond. We have, I think, about 4 minutes to answer as many questions as we can. So rapid fire, let's go. From Raymond, is Core Web Vital really important to the site? Okay,
the typical answer is Google always say, okay, every factor is important. No, like every ranking they say like every important is important. My advice is, if you really want to like focus on core web vitals for non-tech savvy people like me, okay, it's really technical. The question is asked back to your user. Do the user, like when are using the phone example, because core web vital mostly is affecting about the mobile responsiveness of your website. Did they feel slow or fast? You know, sometimes they always people as give example like apple.com domain also very slow, but why they can rank so well? Because it's another factor and a reason. So core web vital is one of the factors. You try your best to make your site faster, and do focus on the other aspect as well. You know, like the keywords, other technical stuff, like the rest of the just now I mentioned.
Okay, so this one's from Kent. Kent's question is, some companies use a single landing page to generate leads as compared to using their full website. Some use both to rank on Google. Is this necessary, or should I just focus on my website ranking instead of creating a new single page landing?
Okay, this is another all-time favorite question. I ask many people also. If you're using the Google Ads, if you search Google, actually, sometimes people will ask, the landing page, assuming the landing page is for the Google Ads, meaning you're querying the page only for the Google Ads. Do I need to not follow or not? Or no index? Meaning you tell Google, hey, Google, this page, landing page is only for landing page, and then for Google Ads, should not rank on it. My advice is, of course, if you have more website, you have more opportunity. So don't like focus on the like only one website. You must have many backup plan. So let's say the website, the landing page is something wrong about it. The it's not performing well. So your website is your company like organic traffic is totally gone. So you need to have like build other pages about your company website or sub pages on your website.
All right, so let's take this one from Michael. Michael's question is it worth your money to buy websites with ranking and following? And how do you ensure proper handover from old owners to new owners?
Oh, this is very tricky question. Buy a website ranking. Assuming you want to do like link building, or you want to buy affiliate website, right? Okay, the worth for money, the question one is this one. I would say you need to research. The typical like question, the procedure is you need to backtrack the website. Is it healthy or not? Okay. The second is how do you ensure handover from old to new owner? Is this one is as they give you all the everything, the admin, the super admin access. I will say that's it only.
I think Michael, you just have to be careful at the end of the day. Just safeguard yourself throughout the whole process and trust your gut. So I think we can do this last two here.
You start with the long tail keywords. Usually it will faster. I tested it out, it works. So if you really focus on very highly competitive websites, it take a longer time because you need to fight to each other. You try longer. You can try today, like let's say you publish something of this, but need to be very good. That one is no search volume. Okay.
Sure, a few hours. Your guarantee.
Yes. No search volume. So that those volume everyone also can rank. Okay.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Let's take this last one from Naveed. Naveed's question is, what is your advice for broken link building?
Well, this is another very big topic.
Just summarize if you can, the best you can. You have about 2 minutes. No pressure. 2 minutes.
Broken link building. So I assume the other, let's say the third party website link your website already wrong URL. The standard answer they will say is like using these valve tools. Then but Google's mention about this is like actually you don't need to do anything. Then if you really search all the publishers, they always say once you find the broken link building, I assume you has used the tool like SEMrush or Ahref, you already know what's the broken link building. Normally, the advice they will say, can you find the third party? Can you remove the link or can you edit the link? But mostly people don't reply to you. Then the only method you can do is to use the disavow link method. You submit to Google, tell Google, hey, this link is not related to me. But my experience is sometimes you submit the link, the HTML link, then you submit to Google, is sometimes don't have any effect.
So it's like a bit of a gamble, I suppose, with this one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Martin, we're gonna have to wrap things up right now because we are out of time, unfortunately. But thank you so much for being, so timely with your presentation. I always say you're a very down to earth, and it's been super fun to hang out with you. And thank you for being so candid with everybody who's watching right now. So, you guys, let's say thank you to Martin for his wonderful presentation and for being a part of Marketing Fest Asia 2021. Martin, you can feel free to stay on, hang out with us throughout the entire day. But thanks for being here, and thanks for hanging out with me once again. Can't wait to see you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Exabytes. Grow your business online.